Hi, and welcome back. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use 3 common modal verbs in English, and those are must, may, and might. Okay? They're modal verbs, but they're used in different ways. Okay? Now, we know a modal verb helps the main verb in a sentence, and the structure is always subject plus, in this case, must, may, or might, and then the base verb. You'll hear things like, I must go, you must listen, she may come over later, he might be busy, right? Now, you can notice something here. After you use must, may, and might, you're always going to use the base form of the verb. So, you would say, she must study, not she must studies, or he might come, not he might comes, okay? The verb after the modal verb does not change, okay? So, let's talk about must. We use must when something is very important, or it's necessary, or it's required, okay? For example, you must wear a seatbelt in the car. Students must bring their books. I must finish this work today, okay? We must be careful. In these sentences, must means something is necessary. It's not just a suggestion, it's a strong way to say something, okay? For example, someone could say, you should study. But that is advice. Now, if someone says you must study, this is much stronger. It means studying is necessary, okay? If we want to make a negative sentence with must, the negative form is must not, okay? And it's not too common, but sometimes you'll see this contracted into mustn't, okay? But really, we don't see that very often, okay? You could say, you must not smoke here. And in a contracted form, that would be, you mustn't smoke here, okay? So now let's look at the word may, which is also very common. We use may to talk about possibility. For example, it may rain today. She may arrive late. He may call you tomorrow. They may come to the meeting. In these sentences, may means something is possible, but we're not 100% sure it's going to happen. For example, she may arrive late. Well, this means that maybe she will arrive late. And we also use may for polite permission. For example, you'll quite often hear people say, may I come in? May I ask a question? May I sit here? Okay? May I use your phone? Now, these questions sound polite and formal. In everyday English, many people are going to say something like, can I come in? But may I come in is more polite and it's more formal. Okay? Now we're going to look at the word might. Okay? And we use might to talk about possibility, okay? It might rain today. She might be at home. He might call later. We might go to the restaurant. It's very similar to may, but might means something is possible, okay? And it sounds less certain than may, okay? For example, she may come to the party. This means it's possible. She might come to the party. Well, this also means it's possible, but maybe a little less certain, okay? In everyday English, might is very common when we're just not sure about something, okay? For example, I might be late. We might watch a movie. They might visit us tomorrow. He might need help, okay? Now, if we want to make negative sentences with may and might, the negative forms are may not, or might not, okay? For example, she may not come today. He may not know the answer. They might not arrive on time. We might not go tonight. These sentences mean something is possibly not true or possibly will not happen, okay? Now, may and might do not mean the same thing as must not, okay? For example, you must not enter. This means you are not allowed to enter. You may not enter. Well, this can also mean you do not have permission, but in everyday English, it can sometimes sound a little more formal. You might not enter. Well, this means maybe you won't enter, okay? And if we want to ask questions, with must, the structure is must plus the subject plus the base verb. Must I finish this today? Must we leave now? Must they pay first? These questions ask if something is necessary. And with may, the structure is may, and then the subject, and then the base verb. And you would say something like, may I ask a question? May we begin? May I leave early? And these questions are asking for permission politely, okay? With might, questions are less common, but you may hear someone say something like, might he come later? Or might they need help? This is more older English, okay? And it sounds much more formal, okay? In everyday English, we usually say, do you think he might come later? Do you think they might need help? Okay? So if we're going to compare must, may, and might, we use must for something necessary and required. Okay? You must stop at the red light. We use may for possibility or polite permission. For example, it may rain today. May I ask a question? Okay? And we use might for possibility when you're just not very sure, okay? I might go tomorrow. She might be busy, okay? And just as an easier way to remember these three words, must means necessary, may means possible or polite permission, and might means possible but less certain. Thank you for watching this video on must, may, and might, and I will see you in the next video.